This episode is brought to you by Slaps. Not the ones you be waxing her ass with, because y'all know how can we get over here. Or his ass, because, you know, we're a high judgment, but do you fan podcast. The slap we're talking about is the one you need to keep off the host and on your hoes. Keep in mind, I'm not saying to freely slap your hoes all willy-nilly just because it's Tuesday. But I am saying slap your hoes when necessary because, you know, equal opportunity. You can't tell a comedian to keep a public personality out of their mouth any more than you can tell the internet to stop adding you on Twitter. Because just like Twitter users would simply delete their Twitter account, a public personality would shut the fuck up about their private life. I mean, with so much information being publicized, you can't expect a comedian to remember every fact about people. Maybe he just assumed a bitch wanted to be bald. Nonetheless, I get it. Kinda. A man is supposed to defend his wife. But I'll be damned if I stand up for a woman that's telling the world that I'm in the bedroom popping dick be hard pills while she getting her back blown out by another nigga in the West Wing bathroom. Women out here screaming they want a man like Will Smith. Fuck that. Y'all want someone to justify y'all when y'all out here with hella Pinkett energy. But one thing you won't hear is a nigga out here saying he wants a wife like Jada. Now let's start the episode. Our sins and woes. Our sins and woes. Our sins and woes. Yeah. Welcome to episode 69. You said I all fucked up. welcome to episode 69 of the Our Sins and Woes podcast where a bunch of dumbass millennials talk about their dumbass opinions, the dumbass perspectives, the dumbass mistakes, and their dumbass complaints. I'm your host, Nelson. Thank you for joining me today. No 795 production, no JPAT records. We are here alone. Yeah. But we still making this shit happen. Shout out YCC, culmination of all your favorite and soon-to-be favorite podcasts. Shout out Protest and Riot, Tunes and Tantrums, Blurred Watch Podcast, and the Sticks Podcast. Shout out PVA. If you don't know what that is, you'll know eventually. Subscribe to the YouTube. Yeah. Subscribe to the YouTube. Leave a like on this episode. Leave a comment saying, I wonder how this episode is going to go without Eric or JPAT talking in the background. Yeah. And then subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com/YCC Entertainment to get all the extended bonus content, the exclusive episodes, because, you know, I'm the bus driver here, and I tell you when to get off my bus. You don't get to leave when you want. So if you want to be a Patreon, you don't have to leave when I tell you to get off the bus. You just have to wait until the bus gets to the end of the stop. Yeah, that's all I got for shout-outs, I think. Oh, Zazzle. If you're interested in merch, go to Zazzle.com/AfterSinsWolves or Zazzle.com/YCC Entertainment to get any kind of merch you're interested in. You get one of these fancy little cups that we be drinking with because, you know, product placement. Yeah. For our shout-outs, that's all I got. Let me go ahead and introduce my guest. From Catching Some Z's podcast, Zesty Z has returned. What's up, Queen?
What's up? As always. As always.
What?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm back. But I'm not back because I never left. But yeah, I'm back.
Goofle. You okay with my pay programming?
Yeah.
You don't have no issues with that?
We could talk about a few things.
I mean, that's my sin of the day anyway.
I get it. I get the fact that maybe we're men, right? They're not
sin of the day. I'm siding with male single nigga Twitter.
So do we believe that the energy was directed negatively?
Like he shouldn't have done that?
Right.
100%.
Okay. You know, it was a moment of weakness at that point, right?
You're a man. You're not supposed to show weakness.
Why?
I didn't make these rules.
But why are we following these rules? It was a moment. It was a split decision. That was a moment of weakness.
So we justify it just because
we're not justifying it. We're not justifying
Immediately into the smoke. Let's go. I'm definitely going to...
We're not justifying it. It was a split decision. It was a decision that was like, fuck. Now, you know, you got to deal with these consequences. But...
What consequences?
I also... Not consequences. Consequences are good and bad,
he walked up on stage and slapped a grown-ass man at the Oscars and then walked back to his seat and accepted the award later. That's irrelevant.
But you
We're
said
not doing the protest. Yeah, but I mean the.
But I'm just saying in general.
Fuck the Oscars energy is irrelevant to what happened because they showed up to the Oscars. Because you're right. 6 years ago or 5 years ago, Jada was talking about fuck the Oscars, and then she still showed up.
That. But what I'm saying is more so like, okay, there was so many different things that he could have been talking about with the G.I. Jane 2 joke. Was he talking about the hair? Was he talking about the cheating? It's so many percent. Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's
a lot of people.
Twitter. Don't do that. Don't do that. There's no way Chris Rock immediately thought, oh, yeah, this is definitely going to be a cheating joke.
This is going to be a hit.
That's woke Twitter having too much time. That's what happened there.
I get it.
That was a ball joke. That's all it was.
Okay.
He could have said, I'm looking for the next tennis ball commercial.
So why was it different from the joke that I forget who made it, but they also made a joke about it. Why was it different? They actually made a joke about her cheating.
You're talking about the
it was somebody.
Tiffany Haddish.
No.
Or no, not Tiffany Haddish. Regina Hall.
Yeah,
Regina Hall made that joke about your wife gave me permission to bring you up on the stage. Well,
for the Bachelor,
internet would have broke had he went up on stage and slapped her.
This one, or maybe she did, right? The internet, what would have been that reaction, right? If maybe she would have said that, oh, you gave me permission for your man to come up on stage to be a bachelor. This is a married man. He's not a bachelor. Why are we having this discussion, right? Again, we're inserting ourselves, and I get it. Like, I really get it. But these are people that are in public.
I don't give a fuck. Keep your name out of the fucking public if you're worried about people having your name in their mouth.
Very true. And your business. Like, I
exactly.
This is my thing. I do say as a woman, we can't, like, bring things to our men, right? We bring things, and then we're wondering why they're receiving this attention. You bringing that to him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are literally saying, listen, I know I got a man, but so what? Like, you bringing that to him.
Yeah, you're Aisha Curry.
No.
Well, it's similar.
No, it's not. It's not. That's a married woman. It's not.
But she wants attention from other men.
Why?
I don't know. I argued that in episode 3. Shout out to episode 3, Tying the Knot with Bond.
Is it that she wanted attention from other men?
Yes, that's exactly what she got tired of the fact that her NBA star husband was getting a bunch of attention from women, and like men are not looking at her the same way. And it's like, yo, you look like you have a happy marriage. Why would I want to fuck that up? I want to fuck up shitty marriages.
But this is my thing, though. We insert ourselves into.
You got immune to the fuckboy somehow.
You know that's you. We insert ourselves into things that really don't fucking matter. Like, these are things that actually do we not believe. If it wasn't them, would we care that much?
No, if it was 2 white people, I'd laugh and keep moving. But this is the black community. So I have to take that into consideration when I'm talking about this situation. I explained it to my white coworkers. I was like, you guys see one person slapping another person. I'm not afraid to say I see color. So when I saw that, I saw a black man slapping another black man. Granted, I saw light skin privilege, but I did see a black man slapping another. That's some shit only, like maybe Denzel could get away with it. But Denzel's acting has superseded his blackness. So that's why he could get away with doing that too.
So because it was 2 black men, I get it. Right? Was he sticking up for his wife or wasn't he? What would we say?
Was that sticking up for your wife or was that like trying to keep the peace at home?
Could it be a moment of peace at home? Yeah, it's not it wasn't never peace.
Sticking up for your wife is not
arguing that fact.
Say what?
There's still gonna be. Now they talk about that. Oh, you think she went home and was like, babe, thank you for sticking up.
She should have. That nigga should have got the sloppiest top of his life for that shit. He should have been home slapping her ass like he slapped Chris Rock.
Yikes.
Like real talk. And she should have said, slap me like you slapped that nigga.
No. No.
Not on the face. I'm talking about on the ass.
No.
That's exactly how that conversation went. Do you want the man to stick up for you or not?
Why does it have to be that though? I'm not even.
I don't agree with the way that he stood up for her. But I don't even think that was. I don't think it was about standing up for her. I think it was about like, let me keep the peace in the house. So
I think it was a moment of weakness because peace in the house it's not gonna like they're still gonna talk about that.
Yeah, but
and whether that was good or not. So he did it, and now she's like, oh well, you know.
If Jada was mad about it, and I don't think Jada is. If Jada was mad about it, the only way she would be mad about it is, hey, you fucking up the bag, which is my problem. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't notice your mic was so fucking far.
You put it there, right? Shout out to YCCC Productions. YCCE.
This nigga can't read.
I don't have my glasses on.
Entertainment, nigga.
See Productions, okay? Make sure my mic's closer when I'm here.
You fuck up my company name one more time, so help me God.
Make sure my mic is close when I'm here.
It's on your cup.
Perfect.
All right. So, fuck, you threw off my train of thought.
He shouldn't have defended her. He should have not defended her that way, is what you're saying.
I think there's
I believe it was a moment of weakness. I think that he had a split decision. I think when you say that,
you excuse it, though.
I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying that it was right or wrong.
But you're saying anybody in the world is capable
of
that.
What I'm saying is that I get it. Like, if sometimes you gotta pull up. Like, I get it. Do you not? Just because it was a moment of weakness. It was something like that.
So every time a nigga pulls up, it's a moment of weakness.
We're not talking about every time.
That's what's over. You can't.
We're not talking about every time.
Hey, for the audience out there, anytime a nigga shoots up your block,
no,
it's a moment of weakness. Don't take it seriously.
That's an extreme.
Of course, it's an extreme, but I'm giving you the scenario you put forth.
So, all in all, I really wish like these two men, and this is what I'm saying, as our black men, but this one, it was like misguided. That like anger, like I really wanted him, like he could have talked to his girl, like listen, like he was laughing at her, yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying. We have to be able to communicate these things, like listen, I get it. If you feel some type of way, like she should have maybe, I feel this way about it, even be after, like listen, this is this, and I think that we have to respect that the rooms that we're in. Not saying that Oscars is this and that and this, but it's a place and a time for everything. And even though you may have got offended or you may have felt some type of way, it's like it was so much backlash that we received that it was like, is that even necessary? But then again, these are people that live off of celebrity. And to me, personally, I believe that something happens and then they come out with something. And I'm like, okay, I know why you did that. You arguing with somebody else's baby mama because your man about to come out with an album. I get it. You trying to boost up those viewings. You trying to go live talking about why she, you know what I mean? So
wait, who's doing that though? Who's
this is like,
because if you're saying Jada's doing the one, she's out here talking about her life, so that is
this not going to be a red table talk?
Of course it is, but
exactly,
that's not an excuse.
Exactly,
that slap from Will was real. Like
I believe
the energy behind it for Will.
I believe it was real.
And it was. I don't think it was for Chris Rock. I think it was for the world. When he said keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, I don't think he was talking to Chris Rock. I thought he was talking to the world. But that's your wife's fault because she keeps your name in the public view.
I believe that's what I'm
saying. My boss
saying.
didn't know that the Pickett Smiths had kids until the last 2 years.
Exactly.
So
people don't, but that's what I'm saying. You're bringing certain energies into your circle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, that fucks up the bond. That fucks up the trust. That fucks up the understanding. And that fucks up the communication. Because had she maybe maybe she would have, let's think, maybe she would have laughed a little bit like, Kiki, whatever. It's an evening. We out. We having a good time. Maybe she had one more shot and that laugh that frown would have been a Kiki. So I get it. You have to, it's like, you got to finagle of what rooms you want to be in, right?
I agree.
You
don't sit front row when a fucking comedian is hosting anything.
And two, out of respect. So I believe that. So now I'm on this thing where I believe that anger is a choice. So like he chose anger. Like out of respect. But it was
a moment of weakness. So did he choose that moment? Or
yes,
not?
He chose that. He chose that moment. Not he chose to wake up. In that moment he chose that.
Up, like he chose violence.
But he chose that in that moment. He did. And is that something to be like, oh my goodness, whoa, whoa, whoa? It's okay.
No, it's not.
Why is it not?
Why is it not okay to go up on stage and slap the host?
Okay, it's a host, whatever. You
mean
to tell me?
Chris Rock.
I get it, but you mean to tell me you never was like, listen, I got, what the fuck today? I'm fucking driving to work. It's 7 a.m. I'm minding my business. But that man really thought like, I told her. And I'm just like, You got it. You know, so it's like we in certain moments and that's what I'm saying. We're human. That's what
I can't
all
keep
in
riding
all.
off this we're human excuse. That's what pisses me off the most
Yeah.
about this conversation is everybody's like, oh, and I'm not specifically
Who
you, but a lot of people.
cares? Like,
No, I get the who cares thing because
Yeah.
it's celebrities doing celebrity shit. But
Okay.
in the argument, because everybody's trying to assert how they would handle that situation. And my problem is people look at that situation, they say, oh, we're human. Oh, people do think they react a certain way. And it's like, yeah, we're fucking human, but you don't see me walking around jacking my dick off everywhere I go. That's a human nature. It's cavemen were fucking doing
why
it.
would you be doing that outside? We not
Because
in
we're
those
more
times no more.
civilized now, right?
Right.
We also don't go up on stage and slap people in public.
If it was a
Because we're civilized now. There's certain things we don't do as a people anymore.
Listen, I don't care what level I get to. If you
There's
can,
always going to be some indecency.
listen, if you can get it, you can get it. Like, that's a fact. Because you're going to know.
That's fucking wild.
But that's how I'm coming.
You heard it here first and last. If you want smoke with Z, she's got it for you.
And if you want smoke with catching some Z's, we got it for you too.
I always want smoke with catching some Z's.
As you should.
Y'all my favorite female podcast. Second favorite female podcast.
Make sure y'all keep following.
Y'all not better than Horrible Decisions, but y'all up there.
We better than everybody.
You're not better than Horrible Decisions.
Listen.
That's only because Weezy's that bitch.
Catching some Z's podcast is better than everybody.
Y'all been noticing a lot of book club shit too.
Yeah, because we on it. This is the thing. It's a brand. When you're a brand, you got other shit going on. I'm sorry. I get it. YCC Entertainment.
But just about to say.
I get it. When you a production company, you got other shit going on. I listen. You know I support it.
I know you've always been supportive, and I appreciate that.
Of course. I have no other choice. You know this is embedded in me. This forever.
Talking your shit.
It's forever.
Oh God.
Listen.
That's my sin of the day. Me siding with the single male Twitter voice because Will Smith was out of line for going up on stage and slapping Chris Rock. I'll stand by that tooth and foot. But shout out to Chris Rock for about to go on tour and making a whole bunch of money off this conversation.
Exactly. Listen.
Capitalize, my nigga. Capitalize.
Was it planned? Because you can get it if you can get it if you want to get it. Like.
Woe of the week. My woe of the week is I'm open-minded until you say something that I disagree with. Then it's shut the fuck up energy.
Okay.
I had
That's
an argument.
people.
Yes, that's 100% people.
Yeah.
Everything that you say is valid until you disagree.
I agree. Yeah.
I ran into somebody. I can't remember what specific conversation they were having, but they were talking about white people, and they were talking about privileges that Asians get. Somehow the conversation got there, and I was like, well, white people are the closest thing to, Asian people are the closest thing to white people in America.
Okay.
And they were like, that's not true. I was like, yes, it is. They were like, no, there's a lot of Filipinos and what's another Asian community that people forget about all the time that's of darker skin. It's Filipinos and like Cambodians and people like them.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying like they don't identify as white. I was like, okay, cool. But like there are other people. She was like, well, yeah, there's Chinese and Korean people that agree, but that identify as white, but not all of them. I was like, well, that wasn't my argument. I was saying Asian is the closest thing to white in America, which is more Asian people will identify as white in America or are subject to more privilege in America in comparison to the other races. And she made the argument that, oh, well, there are Puerto Ricans that identify as white. My first response was, well, you name me one Puerto Rican that you know that identifies as white in America. And I'm not saying from a advantageous standpoint. I mean from a ideology standpoint. Mm-hmm. There are Asians that think they are privy to white privilege in America.
Yeah.
You tell me a Hispanic that actually like identifies as white in person as opposed to on paper.
Okay.
So that was my argument. And she basically said, everything that you have said this entire time was interesting. And I thought your ideas on your podcast were dope, because that's how the conversation started. She was asking about the podcast. And she was like, I thought all your ideas about your podcast were cool. And then you said that, and now I don't want to hear anything else you got to say.
She was done
You
with
didn't do no fucking research or anything. I was like, well, if you tune into 68 episodes of my content, usually I do a decent amount of research on everything. Or you could just look at Process and Riot, where we actually pull statistical information to make a lot of our arguments. So, I mean, it's not like I'm new to this shit. It's not the first time having a conversation with a random stranger.
Yeah.
So, but that energy where people will sit there and like be completely interested and then they'll invalidate the rest of what you're saying just because they disagree blows me out the fucking water.
That's a selfish thing though, because they it's like they can't take no more. Like they push back. And that's when I think we have to be like conscious of like what it is that's going on. The conversation that we're having. Am I open to this? Am I not open to this? And if you're not, like be willing to be like, hey, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. But that's not always it. I do agree, like you should maybe push through that
just
uncomfortableness. Yeah.
I don't mind you being closed-minded. I'd like to know that the racists are racist. I don't mind you being closed-minded.
That's not the thing though, because some people racists don't think they're racist.
No, I like to know that the racists are racist.
But they don't think that.
There are some people that don't. That's why I said I like to know that the racists are I like to know that the racists are intentionally saying that they're racist because they do racist things. I would prefer that than a closet racist in that argument. That's what I'm making. So if you're a closed-minded person, I just went to an extreme with that. That's all. Yeah. But if you're a closed-minded person, you should open with that and say, hey, I'm going to listen to what you say, and I might not respond because I'll disagree, and I'm a very close-minded person, so nothing you say is going to change my core facts. So I'm only going to talk about stuff that I'm willing to talk about, and anything else I don't want to hear. Might as well just open with that. I have to be open-minded for me to have this kind of, like, this energy. I've said it time and time again. Shit I say on episode 1 might be completely different from episode
of course
50, except Tinder. If you're on Tinder and your profile says, no fuckboys, please, I'm fucking if I'm a fuckboy. Every time. But that's the only ideology that's stuck with me since, and white people should be able to say nigga. What? Those two things are the only things that stuck with me since early since Woes.
What? Why? Why what? Why should they be able to say nigga? Why?
Either everybody says it or no one says it.
But why?
We're not doing this.
We're not doing this. We're not even going to get into all of that.
Or
we're not even going to get into all of
that.
We give people so much. That's the problem. Like, no, they should not be.
Right.
For what?
Because as a race, we have complete authority over a word.
It's not that we have. It's.
Moving on. So, yeah, if you're closed-minded, just open up when I'm closed-minded.
It's not about being closed-minded. It's not about being closed-minded. You know, you gotta stick to certain shit, and I'm gonna stick to my shit, and that's the one thing I'm gonna do, and that's why I just feel like, you know, I am who I am.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with individuality, but it's got to be space for conversation within your appreciation, especially in today's society. That's my biggest problem is we harp so hardly on individuality. Like that, even like in the military, they're more about, instead of conforming everybody to one person, the military's gotten to a point where they're more about, let's embrace everyone's individuality. Something that's been solidified in making everybody one person. Even they have moved into a space where let's accept everybody being different.
But that's the standard, though. People lower their
expectation,
standard.
not the standard.
Okay, the standard changed, right? Mm-hmm. So before it was this, and now they're being more acceptable to certain things because now they changed their standard. And it's okay to change your standard. It's the voicing of that. Okay, listen, maybe our standard has changed now because they want people to join. They want people to move in that direction. So we accept this, we accept that. We get it. At the end of the day, they're changing their standard. Why isn't that people? This is my thing. Why is everything has to be so structured to where people can't change their standard? People can't change their expectations. And even in a relationship, when you're dating, you change your expectations. You may want this, and then you're like, I got that, and that shit was not it. So I'm going to search for this.
I would argue that. I would argue that in that example where I don't.
Those are two different, but
name something that like you say I wanted that in a relationship at first, and then I got it, and I was like, nah, I don't want that.
Simple as opening the door. I was like, I like when they open the door to the restaurant, but now shorty getting the door open for the car, the restaurant, your house.
Then you always like the door being open.
No, it wasn't that I like. It wasn't. No,
it was just the car door. You only like the car door, and you didn't care about any other door.
I was only giving the standard of the car door. Now my standards have risen. You gotta open.
But your expectations was open my door.
My expectation wasn't open my door. It was. I was saying, it was that. But this is a low example. This is like a miniature example. The expectation is open my door. But once you get that treatment, maybe that's a better word. Once you get that treatment, the expectation has now risen. I literally would not date anybody that did not open my car door. Because now my expectation has risen. Like, I'm not even trying to fuck with you for real. And if you only did it here and there, I got to teach you how to love me. I want the door open every time. So now do you raise your expectation to match what I'm asking for you, what I'm now requiring? Or are you just going to let it just, oh, no, I don't do that? It's different levels of, like, raising the expectation and being open to that communication of it. So
I feel like the way you're arguing it right now, expectation and standard is kind of the same thing because your standards have risen in that situation.
Yeah.
Like your standards are like, my standard used to be just, well, I didn't have a standard in opening doors. Now my standards are open the doors.
Exactly.
So now you expect to have the door open. So in that sense, yeah, I'll give you that. Like
just a tad. It's risen. So we can change but I'm boisterous of this now as my expectation. This is something that has to happen.
Sounds spoiled.
Why?
I think that's spoiled.
Why?
I'm not saying you wanted the door open. No.
Why?
Because you never knew what that was before, and then somebody gave it to you, and now you expect it every time. That's damn near the definition of... It's not that I
expect it every time, because I'm still saying thank you and I appreciate you.
That's irrelevant to your expectations.
I'm not expecting it.
Yes, you are. You just
listen, I'm not expecting every time because I can be like...
So what happens if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, it's depending.
You so full of shit. Why are you lying on my podcast?
If he doesn't, and
it's gonna sometimes
be problems. No, I'm not. Listen, we gotta choose our battles. I'm not.
I ain't met no woman on this planet that ever looked at a situation and be like, that's not worth arguing about.
Listen, I'm not about to argue over you not opening the door because you do it to where it's like I don't even gotta argue that fact. I'm literally going like I might reach for it.
Spoiled. If it happens so much where you don't even have to gather the mental capacity.
Why can't chivalry not be dead? That's what I'm saying.
It's not. I don't think
it's a nice thing to do.
I said it should die.
I'm
a firm believer that chivalry should die.
It should not. Gentlemen should always be a gentleman. And there's no better feeling. Like, you know how good I'm ready to, you open my, it's as simple. Sometimes it's as simple as that. Open the door. And I'm just like this on the passenger. You know?
I don't think chivalry is dead. I think chivalry should die because women are ungrateful.
No, women are... What? Why? Why? How? Tell me. Explain.
Because you'll let that nice nigga open the door all day for you, still leave him for a fuckboy. No. 10 times out of 10.
No.
Okay, I'm kidding.
First of all, fuckboys is definitely losing at this point.
Where?
Everywhere. Don't nobody even, like, we not even trying to fuck with that energy.
Now, like I said in episode 1.
We not even trying to fuck with that energy.
If your Tinder bio says fuckboy, and if I'm a fuckboy, I know I'm fucking. 10 times out of 10.
I get it.
You told me you fall for this trap every time.
No.
That's exactly how that works.
So I don't believe that the bad guy's winning anymore. I don't believe that's so. Women are so more knowledgeable about like what's going on with their energy and about what it is.
Because women are learning how to maneuver more like niggas.
No.
Yes.
No. Why can't we understand what it is that we want when we want? Why?
There's nothing wrong.
Why do we have to, how? Explain to me moving around like niggas. Explain to me. How?
Wait, well, I'm sorry. What did you just ask me? Why can't women understand knowing what they want? Mm-hmm. What woman understands what she wants? I'm tired of pulling up to the restaurant and giving you 10 minutes to decide what you want to eat. We're not talking
about food.
We always talking about food.
So I'm going to let y'all know. When we asking for clarification. Because
no, you're not.
I'll be asking for clarification. I'm hungry. I don't know what I want or what we want. However, I have options. So why can't we treat the situation with more
If
grace?
I tell you we're going to fucking goddamn Red Robin.
I'm down. You made a decision for me. I love it.
Okay.
I'm going to find something. And even if I don't, give me another option. Give me 2 options.
Why do you need more options? I just told you we're going to Red Robin. I didn't leave that up for a conversation.
What if I don't eat seafood?
It's
But you should
Red
know what I
Robin.
like.
It's a burger joint.
I thought you said Red Lobster. I definitely thought you said Red Lobster.
No, I said Red Robin.
I'm like, Red Lobster bad.
Red Lobster. Then you said, what if I don't like seafood? Red Lobster has burgers. They have chicken tenders.
She don't want a burger.
They have tacos.
She don't want a burger.
Oh, they have chicken and tacos at Red Lobster. It's not just a seafood joint. I gave you options by walking you into the door. Even McDonald's has seafood.
We're not eating at McDonald's.
We're not, but I'm making a point.
But yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. The thing is like, why can't... my point that I'm only trying to make is why can't our standard and our it's the same thing. Why can our expectations change to what it is that we want now? It has to stay the same because I met you at that time in my life.
The problem, and that's fine, but the problem with the change in the expectation, in a relationship standpoint, the problem with the change in expectation is with a lot of women, it's a frequency line. It's up and down all over the time. And then you want, when it comes to relationships are about habit. Yeah. Healthy relationships are about habits. You build habits within a relationship. So if your standards and your expectations are constantly changing, how do you give somebody time to build a habit within that relationship? If, 1 week you want your door open and then, you don't care if your door is open and the next week you just think about it and you be like, yo, I want my door open. Now a man has to build a new habit.
Yeah.
And now you're asking, okay, well, you didn't used to wash my clothes, but now I want you to wash my clothes. That's another new habit that the man has to develop. Like, that's the problem with your constant change in standards and expectations is now then you put a man in a place where he's like, well, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up for the woman that didn't want her doors open and didn't want me to wash her clothes.
Yeah, but you got to know who you dealing with.
Not if your expectations are consistently changing. How can I prepare for you to be different in the future?
We're saying consistently. We acting like men don't change.
Men don't change.
What?
Men don't change. Men are the same niggas, day in and day out.
I'm going to tell you one time only. Y'all are not the same. You guys are legit. You are multiple, I get it. Like,
you want to hear what I'm going to call cap on that?
What?
Any man you know gets the same food from every restaurant unless he tries something new. Until he tries something new, he's going to get the same thing every time he goes. Okay. If he gets the filet mignon every time, he's going to get the filet mignon every time until maybe he tries the crab cakes. Okay. That's how men are. Like, it's the same thing.
I think men are more simplistic than we make them. I feel like
consistency is what a man is.
So a woman is not inconsistent. A woman is inconsistent.
Change in expectations.
So men change expectations as well.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes,
men
they do.
Not.
They want you. Yes, they do. They want date night is also a thing now. What are you talking about? Men change their expectation as well.
What men didn't want date night at the beginning, but wants date night in the end?
What do you mean? When the girl's asking for it.
Exactly. When her standard or expectation changes. Name one thing that a man didn't want in the beginning, but later down the road wants.
One thing they didn't want in the beginning. There's multiple things.
Name one.
It could be a kid. It could be marriage.
No,
it could
a
be
man
a lot
goes
of
into a
things.
relationship knowing he wants a kid.
No.
Yes, he does.
I cannot agree with that. No.
It's with who?
Why is it with who though?
It's always with who?
It's not because there's not someone for everybody. Like that's the thing. There's not.
What I might see the greatest wife in you, but I might see a shit mother. I might see a great mother.
So why would you marry her?
Well, that's what I didn't want to have kids with her. And you think I changed because I didn't want to have kids with you, but then we break up and I go date somebody else and I have kids with her.
But are we active? This is my thing. As a masculine, having that masculine energy, we're not even talking about man and female because we have masculine energy, we have feminine energy. Mm-hmm. Having that energy, are we giving that to our lady? Like, listen, I'm not really trying to have kids, just to let you know.
But there's not a lot of men that don't want to have kids.
That's not true.
That's absolutely true. It's a man's core DNA.
That's not
philosophy.
true. Is there a lot of women that don't want to have kids? We can't say that, especially now.
But no. It's core for
situational.
a man. No, it's core for a man to procreate. There's nothing a man is on this planet to do more than procreate.
And what are we? What are women here supposed to do?
I don't speak for women.
I don't speak for all women. Okay, that's a fact.
No, I speak for all men.
I don't. I don't.
But no, I'm like a man. Okay, let me put it like this: a man's expectations in every relationship is always the same in that relationship, and it's not the same for women.
So if a man gets with a girl, and then he's like, you know what, I actually see I can marry this girl. Mm-hmm. Then he's like, you know what, I see her as being a mother.
But he was already looking to have kids before he got into that relationship. I'm telling you that. It's just a matter of if he wants to have kids with her. Because I'm going to give you the perfect scenario as to why this is what I'm saying is fact. I'm loving this. This is fun.
It's always fun.
We're in a deep bag right now.
I
haven't even closed out my woe of the week. A man will get into a relationship with one woman.
Okay.
And then say he cheats because fuckboys still exist. And they are still winning.
You're not winning. Y'all not winning.
He gets into a relationship with a woman, and then he starts fucking with another female. Okay. And he's been telling wifey A that he doesn't want any kids. But then he goes out and impregnates mama one. And then wifey A is complaining, you told me you didn't want kids. But he went out and had kids with her? That's because he didn't want to have kids with you. Every man has different expectations within every relationship. He might not want to have kids with that woman.
What it is,
but he wants to have kids with that woman.
At that point, you're lacking honesty. Yeah, because
if I tell you I don't want kids, it doesn't. I don't have to include with you. That's just unnecessary. That's you're
lacking. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. You're lacking honesty. You don't want to man up. You don't want to say what it is that you. That I don't want kids. Oh yeah. But that was with you though. Come on, we're not even going like that. No, we're not going like that.
How about I tell you that a man's expectations change depending on who he's with? Then can he go like that?
You're in a relation. This is what I'm saying, that you have to be honest and be open to the things that you're involved in. If we are in an exclusive relationship, we're exclusive. It's a me and you thing, baby. So that means like anything.
But the expectations I have with you don't have to be the same as the expectations I want with somebody else.
You wouldn't be with anybody else because this was an exclusive relationship.
And so my expectations with you are set in stone. I don't want kids.
Okay.
And if we break up,
so why can't that
and I date somebody else,
why can't that change in a man though? Why can't it be like, hey, I don't want kids right now, and then
it doesn't work like that. For a man, it does not work. A man's expectations are consistent within a relationship. It's just depending on who he's with. No. I'm telling you, you can't think of one thing that a man wants at the beginning that he doesn't want at the end.
Many men, they can want kids, they can not or want kids, and then they can get in this relationship with a woman and then want or not want kids. I'm telling you. Just like marriage. Hey, people even transition into different religions. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it like that way, and now I'm looking at it this way. So you mean to tell me that
I don't think an ideology change is the same as like your expectations in a relationship.
What do you mean? You could get married on this. You can get married on the God, or you can get married on nobody.
As a guy, you can change your mind as your favorite color. Chances are you won't because you're a man and you're consistent. So you don't change your favorite color.
But they do.
They don't.
But they do.
Men don't change their favorite color.
I think we hold you. I want to say, and I'm gonna say this: you holding a man so high, and we just gotta shout out to the ladies because at the end of the day,
that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're holding it to like these people are they're not gonna change. Their expectations are not gonna differ from when they start to when they finish. This is the thing: you could literally want to be with somebody, and then timeline, I'm good on you.
But you asked
so now the standard expectation has changed because now you don't want to be with that person.
Why are we stuck in that mindset of standardization? Why are we stuck in structure, abiding by rules? But that is the most core thing in the male culture is that stability within the structure, or the what's the word I'm looking for? Abiding by the structure. That is the most core thing for men. So we maneuver as if there is a structure of rules that we have to abide by. There are certain things that a man has to do. Women are more liberated. Women is for women. I don't have as a woman. I don't have to do anything that I don't fucking want to do. Men don't get to do that. No man doesn't get. No man on this planet gets to walk around and not be negatively looked at for saying I don't want to do anything. I don't that society tells me I have to do.
That's not what women say.
That's exactly what women say.
No.
What?
No.
Women are all about fighting the societal rules of today.
No.
What?
No.
All women.
No.
They are literally all about fighting the standard of today. Think about what I just said and tell me. Now, I want to hear you say women are not against fighting the standard of today.
What's the standard of today?
Oh, right. So now you want to get into specifics instead of just saying that.
I want to get into specifics.
A woman is supposed to do this, has a role to play in the household.
No. A role of what?
That's the
she
standard.
Has to be a mom.
But that's the standard.
Not the standard
That is the standard.
No, that's not the standard. We gotta remember.
It's not the standard anymore because women are fighting. What's a standard that men used to have to abide by that men say, I don't want to abide by that anymore? And don't get negatively looked upon for it.
What's that, marriage?
That they don't looked at negatively because they don't want to get married?
No.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
That's all I hear women complain about is men don't want to get married no more. They don't put rings on fingers.
This is the thing, but this is like we are generalizing a thing that is so simplistic, right? Like we don't have to basically group it all together to where it's like, oh, men don't want to get married, women don't want to. Oh, he has to marry me at a certain time. Not every female thinks like that, and because they don't think like that, is because it's not a fight against the standards of society. It's meet me out where I'm at. Grow with me out where I'm at. And if you don't want to fuck with that, then don't. Go about your business. Women are so much more powerful than men like to believe. And before, and not even we're fighting. That, liberators. No, we're not fighting against it because we still want the men to have a masculinity about them. We still want them to have that. Enemy.
That's the episode name right there. See an enemy.
We want them to have that man quality. Like, yeah, that's my man. But you gotta uplift some women to don't want standard.
That. You say that, but a lot of women, I know a bajillion and 6 fucking females that say, I don't need a man. I don't need somebody. I can handle my life.
It's not I don't need a man.
It is that you don't need a man because that's what you say. I'm literally taking the words right out of their fucking mouth.
Where y'all standards at? Like, y'all gonna have to take it up a couple notches because y'all really low and y'all rather be fuckboys.
Just because I listen to the females that talk.
Y'all rather be fuckboys.
I'm not a fuckboy.
Listen, I didn't say I'm you. I said y'all rather be fuckboys. Y'all rather play this game.
Because fuckboys are winning.
Y'all not winning.
F-boys are winning. That actually might be the episode
y'all
name.
Not winning. Y'all not winning. That shit's whack.
City boys up 1,000.
City boys been played out. That's why y'all got city girls out here and y'all complaining about them. Figure out what my all in all tidbit is. Figure out what the fuck it is that you want. So that way you are able to understand, hey, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. You welcoming threesomes into your relationship and you're not even like, hey, I love this. I like girls. When you welcome in threesomes into a relationship, you got to make that shit make sense.
Why do women think like it's okay for a man to go around and talk about his expectations? Why do women argue that it's okay for a man to talk about, or he should be upfront about his expectations? But every time a man talks about his expectations, he's penalized for it. If I talk about my standards in weight, complexion, regiments, any kind of routines, habits, all that kind of stuff, so a lot of guys get frowned upon.
Like, why are they getting like?
Yeah, if I say I don't date fat women.
Why is it a problem though?
Why is what a problem?
I don't feel like that's a problem.
You don't think fat women are a problem, or you don't think a man saying I don't like?
I don't think a man saying this is what this. It's a preference. Mm-hmm. I don't want nobody that's the same height as me. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Level up or don't.
But then I say I don't like tall women.
That's fine. But why
saying
is it
that? But what is the world saying?
The world
is not irrelevant to this podcast, okay?
You want to be. The world's definitely saying be who the fuck you want to be.
As long as it's me.
No,
that's what the world is saying.
It does not have to be you. It does not have to be you. We have to like. It does not have to be you, and it's not. That's where it's like you gotta stick up for yourself on what it is that you like. If you saying you don't like this type of body type, why are you attracted to that body type, or why are you going at that body type? Make it make sense.
So people should be able to say what their preferences are.
Yes.
So if I said I don't want to date a trans woman, would the internet kill me right now? Should I hit my cancel button?
Maybe.
See? All right then. And we're gonna hit it.
Warning. Cancel culture is imminent.
I rest my case.
But why? That's what I'm saying. We care too much about the world. We care too much about things that don't like. That doesn't even benefit us.
I just want you to think with the scenario I just put you through. I just said, what if I say I don't want to date trans people? Do I have to hit my cancel button? You said probably.
Do you?
Because you know that's how the world works.
But that's on you. You're sharing that. Why does that have to be publicized? If this is not that, this is something that you don't want
to publicize that.
Why?
You can't. It's a negative to publicize your.
It doesn't have to be negative, but this is the thing. So, okay, people are going to comment on that, right? So you need to be able to be ready for those consequences, good or bad.
Why is there a consequence for me stating
a
my
consequence?
preference?
Does not have to be bad. Though.
I didn't slap him.
Okay, but this is your opinion. Anytime you state your opinion, be ready for that backslash. That's why we have social media. That's why we have these Twitters and Facebook. Facebook is the ghetto diary.
I don't even think a preference falls into the category of an opinion.
Okay.
I think those are two different things. I don't think you should receive the same consequences for having a preference as you should for having an opinion.
It's your preference, right? Why do you need to state your preference? That's
so that you know
that's when you're letting people make an opinion. Now it's my opinion is this. I like this. Why you need to say that? If this is
so
what you're attracted to,
this
is what you're attracted to.
So that you
who needs to know?
Everybody. That's not fitting the criteria. What are you talking about? If I say I don't like fat bitches and you a fat bitch, that means you know not to slide in my DMs. And that's my woe of the week. Why did we go on this 30-minute tangent about my woe of the week? You know, we started at like, if everything you say is valid. And
yeah, because you play. Like, what you got to tell the world that you don't like fat bitches for? Like, why are we body like, you already know.
Now it's body shaming. For
now
me
you're
to say
body
I'm not
shaming.
interested. All right.
Like, because you don't need to put that shit out there. Just don't.
You have to put that shit out there. Because if a woman puts, I don't like fuckboys on her Tinder profile, she's fuckboy shaming. And we don't stand for that. Either we're fully shaming everybody or
fuckboys is a thing.
Fuckboys been a thing.
Fuckboys is that. Catch me up because I didn't know fuckboys was a thing. That's a thing. Yeah.
The fact that
people want to be a fuckboy.
The fact that you don't know that shows that the fuckboys are still flying under the radar.
No,
and
it shows
still
that the fuckboys need
City
to
Boys
expire,
up
shawty.
2000.
Like, I thought we was raising kings and queens. I'm like, fuckboys is a thing. Why do we gotta be a fuckboy?
Women create fuckboys.
I feel like you can like what you like. You can want what you want. And if that's some fuck shit, that's some fuck shit. But you don't, fuckboys is definitely not winning.
Women create fuckboys, men create kings.
Shout out to our sister
One more before we go into the plug of the weekend. We say bye to these free niggas. Are women likable?
What?
Are women likable?
Yes.
Like on a friend scale, or like a friend level for guys.
Yes. Men love women. Women love men.
But do men like women?
Yes. Men like women. Why wouldn't they? We are the most powerful thing here.
Well, your ego is definitely not likable. But
this
do men like women as friends?
Yes.
Without intimacy.
Yes.
That don't have male tendencies.
Yes.
You have a male best friend?
No. Kind of. But that's me personally. I ain't fucking with nobody. I'm like, I'm good. But does my person have female best friends? Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Does your wait, what?
My person has female best friends.
They have nigga tendencies.
No.
I call horseshit. Men can't stand women that don't have male tendencies on a friend level.
No, that's not true because he fucked with them both separately. He fucked with them both differently, and I respect that. These were your friends before I came into any type of situation, so I respect that.
I'm trying to find this fucking post because
women are very likable. Period. We are top tier. Period. They can be best friends, and they can also, and that's the thing, it's like we need to have these conversations of being okay with just because she's a female doesn't mean that he can't have them as his best friends. Because maybe they provide a conversation level for him. Maybe they provide a different type of air and what their perspective is.
Okay, here it is. Somebody posted this. I read the last episode for 68 with J-Pat, but now I want to hear a woman's perspective on this. Okay, so someone credited women's newly found sexual freedom for the rapid decline in men's interest, desire, and willingness to participate in committed relationships. He described men as the gatekeepers of relationship, which they are, and the women the gatekeepers of sex, which they are, citing sex as the primary motivator for men's historical, willful, or enthusiastic participation in long-term relationships and marriage. With sex being more easily accessible as a result from the feminist/sexual movement, many men don't value connectedness or companionship enough to engage in committed relationships. It would seem that women's empowerment is a double-edged sword in this person's opinion. If women were to withhold sex collectively, more men would pursue relationships to gain access to sex alone. I personally think that's sad as hell and beg the question, do men like women as people? If your worth as a potential partner comes down to whether or not somebody can have sex with you, I'd say it's clear what the answer is. That was me reading quote for quote. So, that's why I say, are women likable? Yeah. Y'all think I have personality traits?
I still stand on my answer. I feel like we play a role without having that role. Women are lovable.
I love my sisters, and I hate my sisters.
That's you.
And
women are
likable. Their role.
No, playing the role as your sister.
Yes.
Why would you hate them? My brothers. I know my brothers fuck with me because I'm providing. Yeah, I'm your sister.
But you have nigga tendencies.
I don't though.
You do though.
I don't have nigga tendencies. I'm a female. I'm a queen, top tier. So I provide different type of perspectives. My brothers fuck with me. My people fuck with me. Even like female friends that I have, their guys like, okay, she cool. It's being okay with understanding. Don't get it twisted
in when I say nigga tendencies in the sense of like you have nigga habits. That's not what I'm saying.
What
But
you
maneuver.
That's
That's staying disclosed within the fuckboy community. I refuse to share that. But you like even your sense of argument. Like you'll use conversation and logic to get a point across, as opposed to talking about how you feel.
Why am I talking about how I feel?
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Exactly. But that's not how
a female trait to be like, oh, I feel like.
Do you not think a female trait is to be more emotional in conversations as opposed to a man?
Do I not think that is a female trait to be more emotional than to a man?
Is it a female standard to be more emotional?
I'll say it's more feminine, yes.
Okay. So then if I say that in most conversations, because I've talked to you enough where I know you can maneuver a conversation off just logic alone without talking about how you feel or using emotions.
Yeah.
Even when you get animated, I know you're not being emotional. That's me saying nigga tendencies.
Okay.
You can maneuver a conversation more similar to a man, depending on who you're talking to, as opposed to a woman. Or in comparison to other women. That's what I mean, not as opposed to.
So you're trying to paint women as what?
Feminine. And unlikable. That's where I was going with that.
No, we're feminine. We're feminine and we're likable because of that.
Women don't even like women. That's why y'all change your best friends faster than y'all change your draws. That is true.
No, we have a different standard and we're allowed to change our standard and expectation.
This episode's going to be called Standards and Expectations. No, I can't name it that because episode 67 was...
It's not. Women don't like women.
Women don't like women.
We have a different standard. You know, like sometimes we have to change that standard. Sometimes we have to tweak what it is.
And y'all do that every other best friend.
That's not true.
That is true.
First of all,
you are the one that's arguing that women's standards fluctuate. So every new best friend, you have a different expectation. And even within that friendship, your expectations
this is your friend, this is your friend. We're not talking about that.
If it's your boyfriend, it's your boyfriend. But you just argued that your expectations change within that relationship. How does it not change within your friendship?
My expectations change. I received certain treatment, and now I'm expecting that. It didn't change. Okay, cool. That was what's up.
If I rewind this fucking... and not quote the fact that you said my expectations in a relationship change.
I said your expectation in a relationship can change, right? Mm-hmm. Because of based on maybe the things that you are now differently and requiring.
And I argue that women are the ones who change their expectations in a relationship and men don't. So
and that's not true. And I argue that that's not true because literally men...
Because you think that men change their expectations within a relationship,
yes.
Right? But you know that we can agree that women change their expectations
and
in a relationship.
And we can agree that men change their expectations as well. You mean to tell me that every Monday through Friday, you're going to want, I'm coming home, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Nah, you want her to spice it up sometimes. You want her to do certain shit sometimes. Maybe you tired of fucking
But that was always my expectation. It didn't just come out. It was always like
so
that.
Why couldn't that be a woman's expectation from the start? Because that's our expectation too. Like, you gonna have to spice this shit up as well.
And that's not what we're arguing. We're arguing that you said a woman's expectation, but you argued that a woman's expectation changes in a relationship. I'm only using your content as content.
No.
So does a woman's expectation change in a relationship or not?
Yes.
Or was she always expecting the doors open?
No, she was definitely expecting the doors to be open.
You just said you weren't expecting the doors open in the beginning.
No. We opening the doors. What I'm saying
is... You said at first you didn't care, but then you really got spoiled. And then you was like, I like it. That's what you said. You said at first you didn't care.
No. The doors have to be open. That's chivalry. And I said chivalry wasn't dead. The doors have to be open. What I'm saying is it's the restaurant door. Okay, now you taking the extra step. You making sure my car door being open. And even if I'm not getting in your car, you making sure my car door is being open because I'm getting in my car.
So just growing up through life, you always had the expectations of the doors being open.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
So why would you date a nigga that doesn't open your doors?
I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I would not.
Never?
I would not.
You never?
No. I've left dates. You fell asleep at the movies? Ew. I'm leaving. And I drove. Call yourself an Uber. But this is the thing. Like, I'm not.
Escalated so bad.
Yeah.
Who's falling asleep at the movies?
People do that dumb shit. I'm just saying, I've had a bad day. You fell asleep at the movies. I'm leaving. What do we come here for?
So I can get a nap and you can enjoy yourself. I made a sacrifice for you.
No.
It's literally
First
us laying in the bed. And
no.
We watched a movie. If you wanted to learn about me, we would have went to a walk in the park. You didn't want to learn about me, we went to watch this movie.
Y'all need to up y'all game up. Suggest.
I agree, but why did you agree to the movies?
Because we were going to the movies. It was something that we both wanted to see.
Okay, so why you worried about what I'm doing instead of watching the movie?
Because we're watching the movie together, and if we're not, I'm out. It's very simple. Like, why does it have to be...
So if we laying in bed together and I turn on the movie and then I fall asleep and you watch the movie by yourself, you gonna get out of bed and walk out of the house?
If we're in a bed together, we're in a relationship. If we're going to the movies, we might not technically be in a relationship.
So if you're in a relationship and you go to the movies and your husband falls asleep, if you're married, y'all go to the movies together and your husband falls asleep, are you walking out and telling him to catch
I'm going to be like, babe, you ready to go?
So why didn't you do that for the first date?
That wasn't my babe. That was a
no-name ass nigga.
I need a break because I have to pee.
Oh, no. We're about to roll into this plug of the week.
All right.
Give me 60 fucking seconds
Take
to introduce
that out.
this guy. We don't edit here. How many times I got to tell you?
Stop playing.
This next song. We don't edit here. I did it one time, and I'm never going to do that again. And that was for protesting right anyway. Anyways, this plug of the week for episode 69. Episode 69. Next episode is episode 70. We're not doing a round table because fuck that. Because I want to do an all-female round table. And I've just recently come to this new expectation in life because men's expectation changed that women aren't going to show for shit. And since I can't do it all-female.
No.
Can't do an all-female round table because I can't get more than 2 women to show up at the same time, let alone 5. So, with that being said, episode 70 will be Streams of Consciousness. Shout out Jay Carter. Shout out E-Rock or J-Pat, whichever one comes through. But for the episode 69 plug of the week, the beautiful K Dior coming on with this beautiful song named Just. And as always, it'll be linked in the SoundCloud playlist plug of the week. Make sure you check it out. But here it is, Just by K Dior. Just kidding. Hold on. You gotta go to the bathroom? It doesn't matter.
Go ahead, play it.
Will you come home to where you belong tonight? You're not alone. I'm with you, babe. Are you alright? Alright, alright. I won't sit here like I don't wanna make amends. Don't care whose fault it is. I'll say I'm sorry for the both of us. Where you go, I go unconscious. I can't tell if I'm hit or not. I just need you. Can't imagine my heart beating without your added rhythm. I know, I feel, I just need you. You need you. You. I know, I feel, I just need you.
It's always the women walking in front of the camera after the plug of the week. And that was KDR with the beautiful song Just. Make sure you check out her SoundCloud the track list. Yeah, make sure you check out our SoundCloud track list. As always, it'll be in the SoundCloud playlist plug of the week. And this will also be on Plug of the Week Volume 3 because we're in Volume 3. So make sure you check it out. Appreciate her for the beautiful song. I'm just kidding. I love women. You know that. But anyways, let me go ahead and do my.
I know you know. I know that.
Yeah, see, I love women. It's just I just hate women I'm not involved with. And I mean, I don't mean like involved with. I mean like associated with. Mm-hmm. That's better. I hate women I'm not associated with.
Why?
But I mean, Twitter's a great place to
find
content.
wait. You shouldn't hate no women.
I hate all women that I'm not associated with, just like I hate all niggas that I'm associated with. I hate more niggas than I hate women. Even though there's more women on the planet, I hate more niggas than I hate women.
Okay.
Yeah. Two kicks and a hug. And I'm saying body free niggas. Shout out to the men that shout out to the men that take out their anger on their wife's hoish antics on another man. Dumb bitches love y'all. Shout out to the women that take credit on Father's Day. Dumb niggas love you. Shout out to the black people that still got Jada Pinkett Smith in they fucking mouth. To you free niggas. Z has said that expectations change for both men and women. And if your expectation for comedy has changed within this podcast, you're probably not about to subscribe to the Patreon. But for you people who kept consistent and constant expectations, we saying hi to you. Peace free niggas.